The Apostle Paul, he said, "For we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and wickedness in high places." You know, and as Paul calls Satan the God of this world, the prince of the power of the air. I mean, we gotta understand the influence that Satan can have over the mind. Now, for those who have been born again of water and the Spirit, they believe that there is one God, and they believed on Jesus whom he sent. Because John 17:3 says, "This is life eternal, to know the one true God and Jesus whom he sent." And as 1 Timothy 2:5, Paul tells us that there is one God and there's one mediator between God and man, the man Jesus Christ. So just establishing that, if we have entered that faith of Jesus Christ in water baptism, and were baptized into Jesus and into his death, and entered that faith where this body of sins died with him, it was also through faith in the operation of God, where we believe that God raised Jesus from the dead, as he describes in Colossians 2, verses 11 and 12. We also believe that he gives life to our mortal bodies to raise us up together with Jesus, to seat us with him at his right hand. Paul describes this more in his letter to the called out ones at Ephesus. When Jesus ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. And we got to understand, he describes us being raised far above all principality, power, and dominion. And as Jesus said, upon this rock, talking about himself, shall I build my holy congregation of called out ones. And the gates of Hades, hell, shall not prevail against it. And as he says in Mark 16, he says, those that do believe and are baptized shall be saved. And those that believe on him, these signs shall follow them. They shall speak in new tongues. They shall cast out devils in my name. They shall lay hands on the sick in my name and heal them. We got to understand, though, the influence that Satan can have over our mind if we're not casting down thoughts and imaginations, as he describes